Namaste programs and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's the penultimate bush trip leg for Patagonia, number 13. Let's get it done. It's about half an hour. And we take off and we want $2.99 for 4 minutes 11. Start our clock. We'll raise our flaps. Oh, hello little factory. Or house, or whatever you are. Hotel maybe. So, Lago Christi North Shore. Fly northwest from the airport and you should quickly spot a river running in the same direction that leads to the southeastern shore of a lake. Follow the lake northwest, it will lead to a small bottleneck water channel between some rocky hills that leads to the northern shore of the lake. Okay, well here's the river. I guess we're following the river to a lake. We're going to want a bit of height, it's quite mountainous around here. Look at that mountain and river slash lake, whatever it is. Beautiful. Epically beautiful, Patagonia. Well done, well done. You've done a great job, Patagonia. You scrub up nicely. Okay, we're about halfway to the next turn. I'm thinking that must be the lake past those hills. And the next set of hills. Alright, let's trim down. Speed also down. Or power, I mean. Speed up. Try and level off a bit. Now that we're reasonably high in the air. Will it be reasonable enough? We shall find out. Fairly strong crosswind going on. Blowing us around a bit. So, well, that will lead to a small bottleneck, which is where we are now. It leads to the northern shore of the lake. Yeah, okay, this must be the lake. Christi, Lago Christi. Now the north shore would be on the right there, yeah? It's not much of a shore, to be fair. There's a much bigger west shore. Alright, I'm going to get turned when I hit this north shore, regardless of whether the purple line wants it, otherwise we're going to be... It looks like we're going up that channel to the right next. Here we go, so 332 for 329. There we go. We might even be a little bit to the right than we should be. Gonna try and avoid this mountain. Lago Alegre North Shore. Head north across the rocks to the next lake. Follow its eastern shore north, and you should eventually pass a river slip. Continue along the lake as it bends towards the northwest and onto the northern shore. Alright, well, I'm going to follow this lake's eastern shore because that's what it says. Even though the purple line and the headings have me over on the left here. That will soon be rectified. Okay, head back to 332 and follow the shore. Well, like as it bends towards the northwest, alright, yeah, that's over there. And onto the northern shore, alright, fair enough. Kind of heading for that little sort of floating piece of water that is running up the side of the mountain there. Which has now resolved itself into a little inlet. What is a river slip, I wonder? We adjust in our chair a little bit, sorry for the squeaking. My chair's a squeaker one. Oh, he's a squeaker boy. Actually, looks to me like we need to do a bit of climbing based on what the next turn will be. There's a mountain in the road. Well, let's do that. I wonder in fact if I'm meant to be hitting that shore there and then over into that valley as opposed to going over the mountains here. It says north from the shoreline, over the trees. Okay. But we're not there yet. I'll wait till I'm actually at the North Shore before doing the next turn. Not quite there yet. Alright, so 353 for 334, Rio Bravo Fork. There we are, 353. Head north from the shoreline and make your way over the trees towards the thick brush of the hills. You should soon see a river running north. Follow the river as it passes by an island at its centre. You will eventually come to a fork with one branch leading off to a lake in the rocky snow-capped mountains. Ignore this and continue north. Okay, well, so there should be a river over here somewhere. Feel like we really should be in that valley over there. But none of it has said that, so I might sort of creep over that way just for sightseeing purposes. I mean, that's definitely the river running north. Passes by an island? I mean, there's a lake with an island there, a tiny little island. Yeah, I think it's meant to say follow the river as it passes by a lake with an island at its center. Yeah, you'll eventually come to a fork with one branch leading off to a lake. Ignore this and continue north. We're not at the fork yet, but I wouldn't expect it to be. Maybe in a couple of minutes. Where is this fork? I guess that might be it there. Another minute or so before we hit that fork. Probably level back off now. We've made enough height. Go down a bit so that the engine does not explode. The fork over this hill here. The instruction is to start gaining altitude, so now we'll go back to climbing. Yep. Here's the fork here, yep. We're continuing on straight ahead. Yes, well, here's the lake, I guess. The next direction is 352, so there's no guarantee that the purple line would even change. It might still be 353, so I'm going to wait till I'm over this lake. I mean, really I should be over the fork, but I'm actually allowed to do that. Over this way, that might make it a little bit more obvious from the purple line. Look at these rocks and lake and glacier. Okay, it's just got everything right here. Okay, over the fork will do. Don't have to be too close, but I think again we're probably heading down that valley rather than over the mountain. Here we go, 352. So for 153, reset our clock. So start gaining altitude as the river twists and bends its way through to a small lake at the base of two mountains. Okay, I mean, wouldn't that be the instruction there? Again, is it one of these ones where it's, instead of telling me where I'm going to be, it's telling me where I am, which sometimes seems the case. Well, there is a river still underneath me. Maybe this is the little lake here. I've got another minute and a half yet. Probably that one in there just appeared now. That's probably the lake we're heading to, yes. I would imagine so. little lakes and rocky bits. They're just really impressive, not just in terms of natural beauty, but the whole, you know, rendering here of the simulation. It's just incredible. Amazing technology. We're arriving at our lake. The purple line wants to change. Yeah, pretty much spot on time for once. So 013 for 1 minute 18 seconds. And the copywriter has gotten bored of saying lake, and now the headline is pool of water. Head north from the lake through the gap between the two mountains. You should see a valley leading up towards another mountain, although there's a T missing in another, an Oha mountain. Follow it and turn northeast at the mountain. You should eventually find a pool of water in some rocky flats. Now that's the other mountain there, I guess, and this is the pool of water in front. I mean, I'd call it a lake. Exactly a puddle. Wisps of clouds on the mountains there, that's great. Okay, once we hit this pool of water, in inverted commas, we're heading left slightly. Going to do regardless of whether the purple line wants to agree with me or not, because otherwise I'm going to crash into this mountain. Nope, it's doing it anyway. 332 for 214. Rio del Salto Fork. Head north at the pool of water. You will quickly see a river you can follow. It should soon lead you to a fork with a branch running west around a mountain. Continue north. Right, well, I'm going to follow the river. The purple line wants me to go over the mountains, and I'm not having it. I am in fact going to level off. Go down a bit. And follow the river. Fork, we're running west, but we continue north. Okay. Understood. We can probably catch up to the line now, because the river is turning slightly around this way. Round like a circle in a spiral. Like a wheel within a wheel. There's this fork then. Should be seeing it pretty soon. Oh, that's it there. That's it right. My propeller now, I think. One going west, yep. Rest going north. Alright, we're following this river. Look at this greenery, man. That's, you could parachute someone in there and they would never be heard from again. They would probably immediately be killed by some kind of prehistoric, gigantic spider, shark, snake kind of thing. You know they exist. We all know they exist. They call them land sharks. Alright, we've arrived at the fork. We're now doing 3:43 for 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Rio Tranquillo Fork. Rio Tranquillo. Follow the river through the canyons and valleys. After a while you should see a long narrow lake near the eastern bank of the river. Just beyond this is a fork where you should head east. Alright, well, we're following the river here for 6 minutes or so. Enjoying the scenery. Is that a... I thought that was a little farm or something, but no, it might just be some discoloration and a little area where there aren't as many trees or something. This valley here is spectacular. And kayaking down this river. It would be marvellous, would it not? Not that I'm a kayaker. I've kayaked once in my life during a staff building, team building retreat that we did at one of my jobs, and my kayak got stuck on a sandbank, which turned out to be an oyster sandbank, because I didn't, unbeknownst to me, when I put my hand down on the sandbank to push myself off, I slit my wrist open without even knowing it. It was like, as I got out of the kayak, I realised there was blood everywhere, and people were going, "Oh, look at your hand." And I looked at my wrist, and it fucking looked like I'd slit my wrists, which I had, but you know, not on purpose. And you know, the local kayak dude was like, "Must have been oysters on that bank," and yeah, they're sharp. They just cut you, you don't even know it. Still got a scar right there on my wrist. Not that you can see that, but hey, trust me, it's on my wrist. If you look at it, you go, "Hey, he tried to commit suicide." Well, didn't. A fucking oyster tried to kill me. Epic battle. This probably isn't the long, narrow lake. It is a lake. Quite long, not particularly narrow. We'll continue following the river. This gigantic river through this beautiful valley in the mountains of Patagonia. Just, you know, this river has carved this valley over millions of years. Good work, river. You've done a studious job. Is that a lake over there? That's, we're about halfway. We're 2 minutes 43 of 6 minutes 12. Excuse me. Having the hiccups here. Lucky, as they say in French. Completely not apropos of being in the Patagonian mountains. But I don't speak Spanish, or whatever language they speak around here. Some Spanish or some original local kind of language, maybe. Any of the old Aztec, can't think of any other the other civilizations around here. Tolmec. There's another one, another big one like Aztec. Can't think of it right now. Shit, my brain. It does look like a long, narrow lake. But anyway, do any of those languages still exist, or did the colonists wipe them all out, as they generally do? There's a fork, you should head east. Right, so the fork is beyond the lake. Then we'd be heading east. Are we heading very east? Quite east. So almost a right-hand turn at the fork, which we should arrive at in 2 minutes or so. Like the circles that you find in the windmills of your mind. Of course, I have that song stuck in my head now because I was singing it earlier. But I can't sing it for DMCA reasons. Right, another minute to go. We're turning at the fork. It's actually over there. I think if we're turning right, we're following this valley, surely. Yeah. I'm going to turn when I deem fit. Where's the actual... Is that a road? No, we've got roads all of a sudden. I wasn't even paying attention. Civilization has appeared. Alright, I'm going to turn now because I don't want to have to go over the mountain. We want 053 for 4 minutes 56. I had a little house. Is it 053? There we go. Follow this river as well. Lago Brown Airstrip. After a short distance, you'll see another river merge with this one as it bends towards the northeast through a grassy plain. P-L-A-N-E, again, spelt incorrectly. The river will eventually fork just south of a lake. Just beyond the fork at the foot of a mountain is a runway you can land at. The foot of the mountain, you say? Oh, and look at, if you could see the picture of this, it's basically invisible. Here it is, look, invisible runway. Thank you, bush trip person. You are my favourites of finding these. That's not a runway, that's just some grass where some trees were cleared out. Oh, at the foot of a mountain in about 4 minutes. Can't possibly be that first mountain we're coming towards now. That won't be 4 minutes, will it? What are we looking for? SCBR. There it is there. Okay. So there's a mountain there. We're really not actually heading towards it, are we? That might be a bit better. Really, it's at the end of this river here. Okay. And that suggests to me that it is over the mountain in front of us and in the base of that other mountain behind it. This one must be in here somewhere. Doesn't seem to be a road next to it or any houses. It is literally invisible. Laterally. There's a road there. Maybe following the road will make it obvious. Yep, I'm looking at the picture. Another point. There is absolutely no indication of any kind of road to it. What's the point of the landing strip if there's no way out of it? What, you just land there and go piss and then take off again? Is that all that's about? Or did they just sort of model in a grass strip runway here for this bush trip? Because otherwise the next leg would have been too long or something. The next leg being the final leg. This is the penultimate one. So yeah, it's definitely over this hill and at the end of the river. Next to the lake. Can I see it on my topographical thing? No, it's not showing up as anything at all. Alright. That's fantastic. We're just gonna have to land on whatever piece of grass happens to be at this marker here. Okay. I'm not seeing anything. I see a house. Hopefully that must be near the runway then. The river here. be a runway that's sort of, there's some brown, there's some green on one side, brown on the other. Is it this? Really seeing a runway there, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it is this. Here it is, it's directly in front of me now. Let's slow her down. And try and lose a bit of height and try and figure out where the hell this thing is. Graphical thing's not showing me anything. Is it, oh, is it at the base of the mountain over here? I think it might be. It did say at the foot of the mountain, yeah. That's it over there, yeah, with the trees. That flaps down, get a bit more power because we're going to fall out of the sky. And I'm just going to assume it's this here. What this says, yeah. About right. I'll allow it. There is sort of a straight line here that I think is meant to demark the beginning of the runway, but I'm not 100% certain about that, to be perfectly honest with you. There's sort of a straight line down the left there, but I mean, it's not really marked out. It doesn't even look like it's sort of lawn mode out, you know? Okay. I mean, if you want to call this a runway, feel free. I'm not going to stop you, but... Are you kidding me, bro? There's nothing here. It's a joke. Absolute joke. Nice and flat, I guess. Kind of landed. And now we're putting on the brakes, and hopefully this is gonna register. It is! Well done, alright! Well, that was the second last leg of Patagonia. Leg 13 tomorrow. Well, day after tomorrow will be leg 14, and hopefully we'll get our achievement for Patagonia. Hope you can join me for that. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you next time. Au revoir. Goodbye.